Truck and Tractor Pulling, coming to you this week from beautiful Leitchfield, Kentucky. Now this week the points race heats up between Leroy Mason and Darren Smith in the 5,700-pound super stock category. In the super modified two-wheel drive class, the McPherson Mattingly battle for first place continues. The four-wheel drive title is still up for grabs. And in the heavy supers, it's red versus green. Stay tuned next on Speed Vision. Welcome to the American Tractor Pullers Association Truck and Tractor Pull, coming to you today from Leitchfield, Kentucky. Hello, everyone. I'm Claude Wood. The weather conditions, the track conditions, just about a carbon copy of last week's conditions in Madisonville, Kentucky. Today, Litchfield, we're expecting a high of 95 degrees. Litchfield has had no rain also for about a month. Leroy Mason, driver in the 5,700, 7,700-pound class. You figured these tracks out.
Well, we're starting to get them down. What helps is to just continually hook on them year after year after year. You pretty much know the consistency of the dirt.
Leroy, you were out here earlier today looking at the track. What do you think?
Well, I was just picking some dirt up out of it. As you can see, there's plenty of moisture. They've got it in the top. Now let's just hope it works down in. If it stays like this in my left hand, we're going to be fine. But if it dries out to that, everybody's got problems tonight. Can't have that dust and can't have that marbly stuff.
And we will find out as we get into the pull itself later on tonight. Now, with a look at what we can expect and the classes that will run tonight, let's go to our expert analyst, Tom McConnell.
As the 1998 Jasper Pulling Series draws near an end here in Litchfield, Kentucky, the four classes we're featuring tonight, the points are getting very, very intense. In the 57 and the 7,700 super stock, it's pretty much a Leroy Mason show. I mean, Leroy has pretty much won the 7,700 super stocks. The 57, if he makes a mistake, Ken McKillip still has a viable chance of catching him, but Leroy's got to make a mistake first. Now, in the four-wheel drives and the two-wheel drives, gets interesting too. The four-wheel drives, there are 5 trucks that actually have the capabilities of winning the points. The two-wheel drives, there's 2 teams, 4 trucks. It's a McPherson-Mattingly rivalry that is getting intense. One thing's for sure, when we leave Litchfield, there's going to be 4 pullers going away smiling and a bunch of others going away frowning.
Well, Tom, you and I have talked about all the situations, all the possibilities, all of the what-ifs. It's time now to put those practices where it matters most, and that's right here on this track.
First guy up is Mike WILHITE. He's out of Bardstown, Kentucky, driving a New Holland Ford. Beautiful, immaculately kept up tractor. In fact, earlier this year on Speed Vision, it won the Best Appearing Award. Tell you what, he's having some problems on controlling it, but he's making a good run.
Some problems, and he did come out of that. I thought he was going out of bounds, but he ends up 284 feet and 10 inches, and that will be the mark to meet.
As we continue in the 5,700-pound super stock tractor class, Randy Payne and the guesswork is getting ready to go. He took a wild ride a few weeks ago in Shepherdsville, Kentucky. Almost had an opportunity to try that rollover protection out. He's got to beat the New Holland, who's sitting up there at 284 and change. Actually, the New Holland is sitting there at 284.10. Can Randy Payne get it? 3 inches difference, Claude.
Well, an inch may as well be a mile, and that will bring up now the down and dirty. And once again, this will be Leroy Mason as he looks out, Tom, and surveys the situation. Time to go to work.
Down and dirty. In the past 4 years at this event here in Litchfield, Kentucky, Leroy Mason has won, it's a real shocker, Claude, all 4 of them. He's going for his 5th consecutive lightweight superstock win in a row here in Litchfield, and he's well on his way, a full pull.
What a great way to start the evening out. Somehow we expected that from Leroy Mason. As we take a look at Darren Smith, let's go down and see what Leroy has to say.
That front end came up a lot higher than you wanted.
Yeah, she got up there, but I like to ride her kind of tall, and it's a good track. There probably might be some more out there yet.
Now, did I hear the tires unloading? Is this kind of a wavy surface out there?
Yeah, it's a different surface, but I think we'll be okay.
I think he will be okay. This is Darren Smith out of Covington, Kentucky, and you know this tractor. It's a blue Ford called Walk and Call.
your 1996 Jasper Points champion, 1996 National Farm Machinery Show Points champion, the toughest Ford ever put on the pulling track of the Jasper Pulling Series, and he's out of there.
He's out of there all right with a full pull. Take a look at his tracks back there, Tom. He went severely left, but then straightened it up just in time and pulled straight for the rest of the course.
That's what he needed to do. Well, back in 1993, Mike Savey was the winner here at the Grayson County Fair in Leitchfield, Kentucky. Let's see what he can do here in 1998 as the Canadian Miss John Deere is humming right away. And John Deere fans have got to be cheering for him because there's only one more John Deere left to run.
That, of course, Tom, is a diesel tractor. You can see the big black smoke coming up. 282 feet and 8 inches, a little bit short. This program brought to you by Jasper Engines and Transmissions, the nation's leader in remanufactured engines and transmissions. And by Synergen Racing Oil, the world's fastest racing oil. And by Valco of Cincinnati, whose wide array of products are available at local truck stops. We'll have more from the 5,700-pound super stocks when we come back. The sun sets on beautiful Grayson County Fairgrounds in Leitchfield, Kentucky. You're watching American Tractor Pullers Association action, and that will bring up Alan Moore. Now, Tom, Alan had some problems last week.
In Madisonville, Kentucky, he was almost thrown out of the seat of this tractor. The tractor bounced off of one tire onto the other. I mean, it almost turned over on him. So he had a really wild run. I don't know what he'll do here tonight, but let's see what he can do. And he's nose heavy. I bet you he's overcompensating, Claude, from his wild run at Madisonville.
Right you are, Tom. Very obvious. His front wheels never did really get off the ground and up in the air. 207 feet and 7 inches. And that will bring up Ken McKillop.
Ken is currently second in Jasper points behind Leroy Mason. He does have a chance of winning this points class, but he got to really depend on Leroy making a mistake. Leroy's got a substantial lead, and McKillop needs to get a full pull if he's going to win this Jasper points title. Not going to do it.
Close, but no cigar tonight. 293 feet, 10 inches. You're depending on quite a bit there, Tom, if you're laying out, waiting for Leroy to make a mistake.
Well, it's definitely been the case this year. He has been a hard one to beat. And here is a guy, though, that's been trying so very much to beat Mr. Mason. The biggest motor in the class, Larry Phillips, running wild with the insanity, making a heck of a run here, Claude.
He has, and his wheels are immediately up in the air. Good traction, but Tom, he is going severely to the right.
Well, and he was going severely to the left, too. Larry was going everywhere. Well, we know one thing, his rear brakes work.
Whatever he did, it worked. He got a full pull. And here come the Kemper brothers on their Alice Chalmers.
Well, in the pull-off right now, we have got a Ford and International. We do not have an Alice Chalmers, and this is the last orange one we're going to see in this class. So, Orange fans, you better be cheering. This is your last chance. Look at the launch. He comes out, rides the clutch, nails it, and he's flying.
It's a great run so far. The orange peel is really rocking. Does he have enough? Does he have enough? It is. It's a full pull for the Kemper brothers. So, Tom, that sets up a three-way pull-off.
You can see Barbie Glacken helping her husband, Chris Glacken, get the Frog Hammer Ford ready for action. The Glackens have been pulling now. This is their third year in the sport, still looking for their first ATPA win. They've got a good run going there, but out of bounds. Automatic disqualification if you touch that white line, and they're out of here.
As we go to the Synergen Oil replay, you can see exactly his foot working that brake pedal. Let's go down to Brett Kepner.
It looked like you tried to crank it to the right pretty hard almost immediately there.
I hit the brake, but it was too late. It was way out of control, Bond.
I'm sure you saw the flagman running.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Well, that will set the stage now for Ivan Carroll. And Tom, this is somewhat of an unusual tractor.
I love the cream-colored paint job on this cockshunt. Remember, it was manufactured in Canada back in the 40s, 50s, and early 60s. You don't see many of them pulling today. Ivan Carroll's probably got the most dominant cock shut out there, and he's going to come up short, though, 277.1.
A little bit short will not get the job done. Stay with us. More 5,700-pound action. The pull-offs next. A nice evening under Kentucky skies nearby the Grayson County Fairgrounds and the fair going on. Our business's hand is the American Tractor Pullers Association Truck and Tractor Pull. We're ready for the pull-off, and Tom, here comes Leroy Mason.
Remember, in a pull-off, we have what you call a floating finish line. You pull that Otwell Super Jasper sled as far as you absolutely can. I mean, we don't care what the flagman says. You just keep pulling till you run out of oomph. A full pull is 300 foot. A floating finish line, you keep going. Leroy, 337.5. That's what they got to do if they're going to beat Leroy now.
It's time for the Jasper Engines and Transmissions Best Engineered Award, where the ATPA officials choose the vehicle that is technically outstanding. Brought to you by Jasper Engines and Transmissions, the leader in remanufactured engines and transmissions.
For each and every vehicle which has been awarded the Jasper Racing Engine's Best Engineered Vehicle Award at any ATPA event, we've been able to show you all kinds of neat technical stuff. But there's one vehicle that indeed has backed up its ability to win this award every time it pulls. And it's not an International, it's not a John Deere, it's True Blue Ford. Darren Smith and Kevin Folks have put together a machine that, even with diesel fuel, can run with the biggest and baddest in the class, namely, of course, Leroy Mason. But what makes this machine so unique is not just the fact that it has been doing incredibly well in the 1998 season. A lot of it is underneath the hood of this machine. Now, you might remember when it first came out, at least competitively in ATPA competition, it was at the Wabash County Fairgrounds in Indiana in 1997, and we witnessed one of the single wildest wheel stands in the history of superstock tractor pulling when the wheelie bars broke on this thing. But they rewelded those bars, came right back out, and began marching to where they are now in 1998. Indeed, one of the top pullers in this category. But like I said, underneath that cowling is an awful lot of knowledge.
We don't even run a girdle on this one. We're running 175 pound of manifold pressure. The old engines maybe so, but the new Genesis engine, no, it's as tough as any diesel motor out there.
The fact that this thing uses an aluminum cylinder head is something a lot of people don't dare to do with the incredible amount of cylinder pressure you're running in these things.
No, I'd say only about maybe 10% of the class has a aluminum cylinder head. We do it for the airflow. The volume's up over top of a cast head. Maybe next year we'll have to go back to a cast head. We'll see. I don't know how much it'll hurt us. We'll have to do a lot of work on it over the winter.
Now, you're saying there might be a rules revision for the aluminum-headed tractors?
Well, there's rumor right now that the aluminum heads will be gone. We'll all have to go to OEM heads.
Kevin Folks is typical of a lot of the crew chiefs in the Superstock Tractor division. He is outspoken and believes firmly in where he has placed all his knowledge and money underneath the cowling of this particular Ford is in this instance. However, Darren Smith, the driver, is certainly one of the most capable out there. If they can mount a real serious chase of Leroy Mason, you can pretty much guarantee that they'll do it with brains.
And they definitely chased Leroy oh so close at Evansville, Indiana earlier this year on Speed Vision. They were 6 inches behind the Down and Dirty team. Let's see what they can do tonight. Now remember, we're in the pull-off, Claude, and that means they've already had one run on this vehicle, a full run. They've already gone 300 feet once. Looks like he's having some clutch problems there. Not totally engaging up. It's slowing down. Whoa!
Major problems, Tom.
I think he had an ejector line come loose on the machine, and man, check out this fireball effect here, Claude.
Pretty good for July the 4th, if it was, as we look at the Synergen Oil replay. Major problems, to say the least, and he's out of there.
Yeah, he's going to let the ATPA Jasper officials handle that. Look at it from the background. The boom she goes. Looks like it burnt the fuel, and it was out.
I just heard Kevin, your crew chief, over your shoulder saying, well, there's a $2,500 turbocharger.
Yeah, it is.
You're okay, right?
I'm fine. These guys do a hell of a job, putting fires out and taking care of us. So
You got a face full of fire on that one, though.
Oh, I'm fine. We debated whether or not to run it, and well, you can see what happened. We guessed wrong.
Was the clutch coming apart? I mean, was it slipping the clutch bad?
No, it was slipping. I mean, we wasn't going to catch the red one, but I think we'd have been there in the end.
This will set the way now for Larry Phillips on Insanity.
Larry lives just down the road from Leitchfield, Kentucky, and FLAHERTY almost a hometown deal, so you know he'd like to do good, and Larry's taking one of his typical wild rides. If he could just get the insanity to go straight.
He has lost control. At least, Tom, he used the entire track.
Well, he didn't touch the out-of-bounds line, so definitely a legal run here. We check it out of the Synergen Oil replay once again. Up, down, right, left, really veering there towards the right. Almost touches the out-of-bounds line. Gets it under control, only to have it go back over towards the out-of-bounds line again. Jerks it over, and he says, hey, I'm done.
Enough is enough. In case the fans are wondering, Tom, any part of that tractor touches the out-of-bounds line, he is out.
Exactly right. One tractor left, and Leroy could walk away a winner, or will it be the orange pill of the Kemper brothers? The Kempers are starting to bounce, not hooking in at all. Leroy won another one, Claude.
Not anywhere close with 260 feet for the Kemper brothers. As we go to the standings, there's the man, Leroy Mason, in first place, and right now, Brett Kepner is with Leroy.
Another one, obviously incredibly done. But the question remains, what did you learn on that pull for the next class?
It's a pretty good track. We're gonna have to tighten her down a little bit. I might drop a gear, but she's definitely gonna come around for the next class.
How much do you use the first pulls in this category to tell you what to do in the next one?
Quite a bit. It's that's a good track for her right there. We'll be able to adjust her air pressure now and adjust the weights, and hopefully we can come back and make some good passes in the 7.
Don't go anywhere. We'll have more modified two-wheel drive action when we come back. Welcome back to the Grayson County Fairgrounds in Leitchfield, Kentucky. As you see the cage, or the body as it is, come down on Darrell Varner's super modified two-wheel drive truck. And he will go to work right here.
Darrell Varner's your defending point champion of the Jasper Pulling Series. Has yet to win an event this year. It's kind of been an off year for the Rare Breed team. He knows this Leitchfield track good, though. He will set the mark to beat. Good, respectable run right there.
220 feet, 6 inches. The question now, will he keep this run or will he drop?
Waiting on the word to see if he will keep it or drop it.
Meanwhile, that brings up Ronnie Hay from Georgetown, Kentucky, and he calls his trucks a super sport.
El Camino body, kind of a unique looking machine. Ronnie Hay will set the distance to beat. As we have got word, Darrell Varner has turned down his run. The super sport spins out. They've reset the sled, Claude, loosened it up. 271.9 is now the distance to beat.
And that, of course, was set by Ronnie Hay. This will be Dave Richardson. Dave is a local boy out of Litchfield, Kentucky. His truck sponsored by Kodiak.
The Kodiak Chevy is one of the toughest ones in the sport. Just got off of a big win in Purdue University a few weeks back. And he has just made a full pull.
That will make the sponsors happy. Well, it's time now for the Synergen Oil Best Appearing Award, where we choose the most professional and best-looking truck or tractor in competition. Brought to you by Synergen Oil, the world's fastest racing oil. Now, Brett Kepner.
Obviously, if any team is out to win the Synergen Best Appearing Vehicle Award, miles and miles of gleaming chrome certainly can't hurt. But indeed, if you look across the rest of this vehicle, it may become more and more familiar as you actually squint to see the rest of that vehicle. Whether it's polished chrome or brushed aluminum, all the way down to the actual shifter mount, and by the way, that original, that's right, original solid brass 1923 Ford Model T steering wheel. Certainly Jim Mattingly's team can be considered one of the best appearing in any ATP event. But you got to remember one thing. This is only half the team. Both of his machines require a tremendous amount of time in keeping them up. Not only mechanically, but obviously visually as well. Yet somehow this guy is in the middle of a dead heat points battle for the two-wheel drive world championship, and indeed still keeps both of his machines running at the top of the class and looking like this. If anybody deserved 2 trophies for the Synergen Best Appearing Car Award, it's definitely Jim Mattingly.
And you better get a good look at those key buckets, because rumor has it that next year on the Jasper Pulling Series, key buckets will not be eligible for points. More details on that later on Speed Vision, Claude.
Meanwhile, Jim Mattingly to work right now. Front end straight up in the air, and he has a really good run going, Tom.
A full pull, that means we're going to have us a pull-off here in the Super Mod two-wheel drives. 2 out right now. Will there be 3? Truck here is very capable of doing it. Talking the Valco sponsored machine of Rich Santefort, probably making more horsepower than anybody else in the class, Claude.
A good launch and a good takeoff. Lots of power right there, Tom, and he is going straight and true. Front wheels still up in the air, and that will get him, guess what, another full pull.
That means 2 Chevrolet vehicles in there with 1 Model T Ford. Maybe we'll get another Chevy out. Steve GRAUS is going to try it, but this Chevy's a little different. Got a big, deep, black Chrysler Hemi in it, Claude.
Well, that will make the difference also if he's got his combination dialed in right and can get the traction he's looking for, and it looks like he may be there. We'll have to wait and see when he comes back down to earth, and it is, Tom, another full pull.
Well, we're in for a heck of a pull-off. Can we get a lady in the pull-off? Lisa Tatum, 17 years old. When she's not pulling her two-wheel drive truck, she's entering beauty contest.
What a combination. And she has a good, strong run going right here, Tom, right in the middle of the track. But, uh-oh, problems right there.
But you got to remember, it's her first year out driving this truck, and if problems do occur, she'll come back, fix it. We'll see her at the next one, I'm sure.
I'm sure we will, too, Tom. Coming around the corner, this is Jeff McPherson in his Bean Bandit.
The Bean Bandit knows he's got to get a full pull if he's going to stay in the points hunt with Mattingly. He's got a good straight run coming at it. Claude, will he get it out? The Otwell sled is starting to load him, slowing him down. He's out of there.
What a pull-off we are going to have. Stay with us. You like two-wheel drives? More when we come back. Another capacity crowd on hand at the Grayson County Fairgrounds in Leitchfield, Kentucky. Part of the American Tractor Pullers Association Truck and Tractor Pull tonight. What a great night for this exciting sport. And this will be Jim Mattingly.
Mattingly's got his other truck, Jamie's Revenge, in the pull-off. This is the truck he's currently leading the Jasper points with. Will we have 2 Mattinglys to deal with in the pull-off? Yes, indeed. They flag you. They say, hey, you're already out of here. Shut her down, Jimmy.
And that was very close, Tom. He was very close to that out-of-bounds line. Paul Sullivan up next in the Kentuckian. Paul is out of Warsaw, Kentucky.
We saw Paul's debut run earlier this year on Speed Vision. The first time he'd ever run this truck was at Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, and he's driving it like a pro now, Claude.
He sure is. It's wheels up immediately. And let's see. It is. It's another full pull. Paul Sullivan makes the pull-off.
Well, we talked about Jimmy Mattingly a lot. Well, we should. He's currently number 1 and number 3 in Jasper points. This is his old full-body truck called the Kentucky Colt. Jess Turner owns it now, and he calls it Now and Then. Strong running forward. Is he going to get it out? No, man.
Very close, but not close enough. 299.4 feet. Well, here comes the gambler. This is Russell Korp, and Russell is coming to us from Evansville, Indiana. And Tom, he's been at this track many times and should know these conditions.
Earlier this year on the Jasper Pulling Series, we saw this truck take a second place finish at Goshen, Indiana. He is high up in the air. Look at the view we could get there. He is oh so close.
Very close indeed, Tom. 299 feet and 2 inches. That will not get the job done. And that will bring up Dick McPherson out of Circleville, Ohio. And, of course, this is the Missouri Raider.
Your 1996 Jasper Points champion, currently number 4 in Jasper Points, locked into a tough battle with the Mattingly team. He needs a full pull. Will he get what he needs? Yes, indeedy.
It is a full pull indeed for Dick McPherson. We will see him in the pull-off.
This is such a beautiful truck. Billy Bland right here from Litchfield, Kentucky, driving a truck called the Alki Hall Ick.
I like his play on words there, Tom. I don't know if that has anything to do with his paint scheme with scattered lines here and there.
Well, I'll tell you, this truck took him about 3 years to build. I mean, he really took the time building this machine, and it paid off.
294 feet was his distance.
We see getting into the thumper truck, the Sullivan's team. Danny Sullivan's going to be doing the driving this go-round. They've got one of their teammates, Paul Sullivan, already out the back door. Can the thumper do it? The Chevy fans love this full-body truck. He's getting oh so close. He's out of there, Claude.
It's another full pull. What a pull-off we are setting the stage for here. And that will bring up, I said a minute ago, probably the busiest man in all of motorsports. We've watched Jim Lyons drag race. He builds motors. Here he is in truck pulling.
For some reason, the crowd just absolutely loves Jim Lyons here in Leitchfield, Kentucky. They always give him a lot of applause. Very much respected in this area. Going to come up short, though. The Jasper Pulling Series not going to make a full pull here tonight.
295 feet. Now, here comes Daryl Varner out of Midway, Kentucky. He calls his truck the rare breed, and this will be the last truck going.
And remember, we saw Daryl hook first in the class, Claude. He turned down his run. Looks like he made a good choice, but will he get a full pull?
Not this time. A little bit short, 294 feet and 2 inches. That will set the stage for the pull-off. We'll have that when we come back. Concentration in the eyes of one of the pullers at the Grayson County Fairgrounds. Little vote of confidence there. Coming to you today from Leitchfield, Kentucky, of the super modified two-wheel drive. Tom, we are at the pull-offs.
And Claude, I just got word from the pits that Rich Santefort with the Valco sponsored Just for Fun machine will not be back to make it in the pull-off. He did some serious engine damage on his first full pull run. He can't come back. So we're starting to hear fresh with Dave Richardson. He'll set the mark to beat in the pull-off.
And he is driving the Kodiak machine. That's bad news for the Santefort team, and that's the way it goes. Dave Richardson pulled 284 feet and 8 inches, and that will be the mark to beat. Jim Mattingly getting ready for the challenge. Let's go down now to Brett Kemper.
I can honestly say that the entire crowd was pulling for you in this category.
That feels good. I mean, it feels really good to come home and we run all summer long and make a good run whether it wins or not. These are some tough guys, real tough guys, and we run all over the nation for Kodiak, and then we come home and make a decent run, so I'm tickled to death to be here.
That will bring up Mr. Jim Mattingly out of Bardstown, Kentucky, and of course, Tom, this is Jamie's revenge as he starts his run.
This is the one that's currently third in the Jasper points, trying to gain some lost ground in points back from the McPhersons. Will tonight be the night he gains in the points? Well, he took over the lead. He's heading in the right direction, Claude, 296.10.
And that will be the new sight for Steve GRAUS out of Georgetown, Ohio, and the young gun, his gun set on that mark.
No doubt about it. Good full-body truck. He is flying down the way, but the Chevy's starting to get up in the air a little too much. It's going up and down, rocking on him, going to come up short.
Not only up and down, but you can see his tracks right there, Tom. Left to right, too. Lost a lot of valuable distance right there. Well, this is Jim Mattingly starting to do business in the high roller.
Currently #1 truck in the ATPA points and hoping to enlarge that points lead if he can over McPherson. He's on the road to doing it.
And that he will, Tom, with 298 feet, 4 inches. That will be our new leader. And that will bring up Paul Sullivan driving the Kentuckian.
A lot of team action out here tonight, Claude. I mean, we've got 2 Mattingly trucks in the pull-offs. We've got one of the McPherson trucks in the pull-off. We've got 2 of the Sullivan trucks in the pull-off. It's incredible, all the teams that are coming into this sport.
And Paul Sullivan has a great run going. Will it be enough? No. 280 feet and 8 inches, not going to get the job done. And you mentioned the McPhersons. This is Dick McPherson.
Jeff didn't make it out earlier, so Dick has got to take the family honors all his own. Can he beat Mr. Mattingly? That's what he is trying to do oh so much. He's got to beat 298.04. He's coming down close. Will he do it?
The standard bearer for the McPhersons, no. 288 feet. A problem right there, Tom. Was that his blower belt that came off?
That's right. You saw the ATPA official pick up the blower belt and say, Dick, this is what happened. That explains the shortage of footage there for the Missouri Raider.
Tough break. This will bring up Danny Sullivan now, driving Thumper.
Danny's the last puller in the class. Will Mattingly win another one, or will the Chevrolet fans go home cheering?
Thumper comes to rest at 288 feet. That means the winner in the pull-off is Jim Mattingly driving the high roller. 298 feet, 4 inches. Stay with us. A lot more action coming your way right here on Speed Vision. Back to Grayson County Fairgrounds in Leitchfield, Kentucky, and the American Tractor Pullers Association Truck and Tractor Pull, and we're ready for modified four-wheel drives. And Tom, to get things underway, this will be Ron Baker.
The number 1 Ford on the Jasper Pulling Series has yet to win an event this year. He did place second at West Lafayette, Indiana at the Purdue Boilermakers Pull just a few weeks ago. Let's see if tonight can be his night to take home the big win. He's getting right there in the hunt, Claude. 291 and 10 will set the mark to beat.
It will for the insane truck. What a nice paint scheme, too. This is Mike Clark. And Mike comes to us from Staunton, Indiana, the Pack Rat.
Mike is a big-time ITPA, Indiana Truck Pullers Association's member and supporter. Has run many, many years with the ITPA in their pro stock category. Has just stepped up to the ATPA Jasper Pulling Series in modified. Good run.
286 feet. Let's go down to the pits and Brett Kepner.
You know, so many times in our Speed Vision coverage of the ATPA Pulling Series, we talk about the fact that both with the trucks and tractors, these machines race on Sunday and sell on Monday, just like the old days of car racing. But indeed, nowadays, you'll find the trucks emulate just about everything you can buy from your local dealership. Case in point, the Sebastian family's beautiful night train machine. As you can see, a brand new 1998 Ford. Now look closely and you'll notice that those are Ford wedge valve covers. Indeed, this thing utilizes big block Ford power, and you can still order a Ford pickup truck with the 460 wedge motor. And by the way, with fuel injection, I might add. Now, you might say, well, this is a pretty cool ride. Well, nobody knows that better than the lady who drives it, Debbie Sebastian. Debbie, this thing is gorgeous.
Thank you very much.
Who decided to come up with the new Ford combination?
Combination. My husband works for Ford Motor Company, so, you know, that little Ford paycheck comes every week, so we elected to go with the Ford product. We believe in it, so that was number one. My brother designed the paint scheme. I picked out the colors. My husband's colorblind, so whatever I wanted, I got. So that's how we came up with it.
Everything looked good to him.
Yeah, it did. It didn't matter.
Now, I understand the body panels on this were kind of a top secret deal.
Yes, we actually received the Ford body before it was available to the general public. With my husband working for Ford Motor Company, they kind of bent the rules a little bit, let us get the truck, get everything set and ready to roll. When the truck came out on the market, we could bring the truck out to pull.
Not before?
Not before. We had to agree to that.
Out of curiosity, how long did this truck sit finished with you waiting to be able to pull?
Well, that's kind of a funny question because we got the body ready. We had a little problem. Our crankshaft that was supposed to take 3 months took us 9 months to get. So the truck wasn't actually ready. The body was ready, it was painted, and we didn't have a motor.
I can only imagine once it came out, you've been swamped with fans ever since.
We have indeed. It's definitely an eye catch for a lot of people.
While the classic body styles have dominated the four-wheel drive category for years, many fans will tell you they're gladly welcoming the brand new body styles. Let's face it, most of them are gorgeous. But this particular one is probably head and shoulders above the rest. And if Debbie can manage to pull out a win here, I'd look for the big show to be in the cockpit as well as on the outside of this thing.
Thanks, Brett. What a great-looking truck, Tom. It looks so nice sitting in the pits. Let's see how it does on the track.
I can tell you from experience, this truck runs as good as it looks. And years ago, when husband Anson was running this same truck, of course they had a different body on it. It's always been a Ford. Used to compete with this truck in the super stock four-wheel drive category, and it was a killer.
saw her husband come up there right before the run, give her just a little word of encouragement. How much? 265 feet, 8 inches. Not a bad pull.
Well, here's the guy that's never, ever painted a name on the side of his truck. So when he rolls in, everybody knows it's Junior Brown, the Waverly, Tennessee native. Real unique induction system on this, fuel injected and carbureted.
Junior has a good run going so far, a good strong takeoff. Looks like he's picked up some good ground right there. Will it be enough?
Not going to do it, Claude. The Ford of Ronald Baker is still in the lead up there at 291 feet.
That's Alan Sneed, lost in the 50s, and I love this truck.
Well, somehow I figured you would, Claude.
Alan Sneed out of Lancaster, and he has been on this track many times before. You see him a lot on the ATPA pulling circuit. He has chosen, Tom, to go down the left side of the track.
Yeah, but it looks like he's starting to run out of ump there. Is he going to come up short? Yeah, 281.2, about 10 feet behind Ron Baker.
I think he changed his mind there, too, and left the left side and came back to the center. This will be Galen Young out of Versailles, Kentucky.
Galen is currently on a hot spree. Earlier this year in North Branch, Michigan, he was disqualified. It really hurt him in the points, but he has won the past 4 events in a row. Can he win 5 in a row? He's on his way to doing it, Claude.
Right there it is, a full pull for Galen Young. And that will bring up Mr. Chris KOLB. Like the graphics on his truck, too, there. The Menace.
Chris is probably running the smallest motor in this class. It might work here tonight. It might not. This track is actually coming around and getting a lot better than what it was earlier. The moisture's coming up from underneath that they prepared in the track earlier today, and Chris KOLB's going to come up short.
Short at 269 feet 1 inch. We saw there, Tom, he chose to start in the center of the track and veered off to the right as he got his run going. Steve Clem out of Versailles, Kentucky. Where will he position himself?
Remember, Steve and Galen Young are kind of partners. The way I understand it, Claude, is that this motor is actually owned by Galen Young. It's definitely a partnership, to say the least. So if either one of them gets up and wins, both parties are happy. Steve isn't going to be the party to take the win, though, 270 feet.
Stay with us, more four-wheel drive action. Welcome back to Grayson County Fairgrounds in Leitchfield, Kentucky. As Truck says it's milking time. That, of course, is the four-wheel drive driven by John Brown.
John Brown has pulled at this track for probably about 20-some-odd years. He knows the dirt here in Litchfield. Could really help him out. He's throwing a lot of dirt. You don't want to throw a whole lot of it, because remember, every time you throw dirt up, you got to drive that sled on top of it.
And that, Tom, would be creating problems for yourself. 271 feet 1 inch for John Brown. Not going to get the job done. Kim Eddington up next from Marshall, Illinois. This is called Bustin' Loose.
Kim is one of the few Fords left remaining in this class, so the Ford fans need to get behind this guy. We've got a Chevy with a full pull. Can the Bustin' Loose Synergy machine do it? Starting to bounce, dig down there at the end. Not going to do it. 272.1.
I think he ran out of steam there at the end, Tom. Lost a lot of traction, a lot of time, too. There's the Mad Dog with his visitor hanging out the side there. This is Aaron Mobley.
Yeah, I've been told that every once in a while the pullers envision that it's me, but that's another story, Claude. Hey, Aaron has got a heck of a run. He's going on the left-hand side of the track, throwing a lot of dirt, but it made a lot of noise, but it didn't get it far enough, Claude.
Well, a little bit exciting to watch as he went to the left and only 266 feet. This is Terry Thurston. He says he's got a junkyard dog, and he's going to try to drive like he's mean as one.
The junkyard dog actually got a big 700-some-odd cubic inch Ford as the power plant. He's starting to lose traction there. A good run, but he's going to come up short.
A little bit short at only 265 feet and 9 inches. And that will make way for Jim Lyons out of Louisville, Kentucky, and good old Stitches.
Jim won 2 pulls earlier this year on the Jasper Pulling Series. I'm talking in May and in June. Has yet to come back from those early wins and succeed in this 4-wheel drive class. Now, he's in the points hunt, Claude, but he's just not, well, you hear it. He's been having problems the last few events, and, man, shuts down early, 231.
And he had some serious motor problems, it sounded like, right there on the end. Now, it's time for the Valco Tech Talk, where we share some of the best-kept secrets of the motorsports industry. Brought to you by Valco of Cincinnati. Now, with our Tech Talk, here's Bill Stevens.
This time on Valco Tech Talk, something for you pickup truck owners, especially those of you that carry cargo a lot. You know, like scooters or quads or rototillers or garden equipment, anything like that. You know how tough it is to secure things like that in a pickup truck without damaging either the cargo or the truck. And you've probably seen guys going down the road with ropes and bungee cords and springs and all kinds of things trying to keep it secure. That's dangerous. One reason is, well, not so much the starting up part, but the stopping. You hit the brake and that load isn't secured properly, you're in some big trouble. Take a look at this. It's the uptight securing system from Valco. Very simple but very clever. Couple of rails bolt on the inside of the bed. And then you have adjustable sliding tie downs here that can go just about anywhere. Every 6 inches, in fact, you can move that slider. Now, up here, you can adjust your strap that'll hold the cargo from sliding backwards when you start up. But more importantly, when you stop, these straps right here will keep that scooter or anything else from moving. Another thing, you've got cargo in the back, and let's say you want to stop for lunch. Well, you might be a little bit concerned about somebody getting a little too curious about your cargo. You can lock it right there and keep it nice and secure. Another thing, the hook configuration is adjustable. You got different kinds of hooks. The system is made so that it will accommodate just about anything, and a choice of finishes too. If you want to know more about the system, maybe order it. 3 ways to do it. Call Valco Cincinnati or go to the ATPA website on your computer. They have a link that goes right to Valco, or check with your local motorcycle dealer.
Thanks, Bill. Great tip, as always, and thanks to Valco. Now, let's get back to more 4-wheel drive action. This is J.J. Hager out of Midway, Kentucky. And, Tom, it's obviously a Chevy.
Oh, you can tell that with that big chrome bow tie sitting right out there in the front. Listen to the RPMs on this for a second, Claude. Listen to it scream. Claude, he is having problems, though. He's revved that engine too hard. I think he threw a rod. Oh, man, it ain't supposed to do that, Claude.
Well, major problems. Only 217 feet. Sounded good while it worked, though.
Gary Varner's coming up out of Midway, Kentucky with the Fast Break Chevrolet. Always a serious contender in the points, and at every pull, he is starting to fly down the track, Claude.
The Fast Break indeed is making a fast run for it. 299 feet, 11 inches.
1 inch short of a full pull. Galen Young had to be sweating bullets on that. Remember, the Renegade is still in the lead right now with the only full pull in the class. 2 trucks left to go. Brad Hunter, he is flying, Claude.
He has got it going. Will it be enough is the only question. 268 feet and 6 inches, not enough.
Well, here's the last one in the class. Jake Owen, Elizabethtown, Kentucky. Remember, he's got to get a full pull if he's going to stay in the hunt. Can he do it, Claude?
He is certainly giving it a shot. And what a gorgeous paint scheme on this truck. Is it enough? 270 feet, 6 inches.
Not going to do it. Galen Young will take the win. Gary Varner, an inch behind a full pull.
The action really heats up. Don't go anywhere. More to come on Speed Vision. Welcome back to the Grayson County Fairgrounds in Leitchfield, Kentucky. You see the intense concentration in the eyes of Neil Gettinger as we begin the 7,700-pound Superstock tractors. This, of course, Tom, is the Up and Atom.
One of the strongest John Deeres ever, and he's having problems right off the line, losing water. The ATPA officials are liable to disqualify him for that if he doesn't slow it down. And he's done. The officials let him keep his run, 289.10. The John Deere fans are on their feet. They're in the lead, but we got a red one on the line now, Claude.
Yeah, that looked like potential problems there, but Leroy Mason set to do business. and he has a very good run going. Typical Leroy, wheels straight up in the air, almost straight down the track. Is it enough?
Yes, it is. 291.0. That's your new leader. Remember, earlier tonight, Claude, he won the 5,700 pounds. He's thrown a ton of weight on, and he's coming to play with the big boys in the 7. And here's one of the big boys that has won this event before, Roger Early out of Sabina, Ohio. He has got a good run going, having to stand on the brake. Will he beat Leroy? Not going to do it. 268.7.
And that will make way for a little bit of night trouble. This is Kenneth Hale out of Tullahoma, Tennessee, driving a diesel tractor, of course, and he has a good start, wheels straight up immediately, Tom.
Kenneth Hale, if he can pull off a victory here tonight, this will make his 3rd consecutive victory in a row here in Litchfield. Can he do it? He's got the lead. He's on his way to 3 in a row.
Wow, that is awesome. 292 feet. Well, it's John Deere time now. This is Mark Wiederhold on Thumper.
And that was the last international that we'll have in the class. So we've got a couple of green ones and an orange one out there. John Deere fans, get behind the Thumper.
Fuel stacks pumping diesel smoke out 255 feet 11 inches. That will not get the job done.
Last look at a John Deere. So John Deere fans, it's do or die here right now with Nick Hicks. Always one of the most immaculately kept tractors in the sport of ATPA Jasper pulling. It looks like the Otwell sled is going to catch Nick there, Claude.
Yeah, it caught up with him in a hurry as Nick will only pull 252 feet and 6 inches. Our last puller tonight, Tom, will be the Kemper brothers on the orange field.
Charles Kemper doing the driving here, sliding the clutch out. Watch that right hand. He nails it. Now the AC is taking off and flying up and on the throttle. I don't think he can beat Kenneth Hale. It's just bouncing around. The weights are even dangling to the ground. No, sir. Kenneth Hale will win his 3rd consecutive victory here in Litchfield.
And uncharacteristically, you see Leroy Mason there in 2nd place. Congratulations to Kenneth Hale. This program brought to you by Jasper Engines and Transmissions, the nation's leader in remanufactured engines and transmissions, and by Synergen Racing Oil, the world's fastest racing oil, and by Valco of Cincinnati, whose wide array of products are available at local truck stops. That's it. We're all out of time. For Bill Stevens and Brett Kempner and Tom McConnell, Claude Wood, so long, everyone.